so now I'm up in Manning Park now. I'm coming back through BC, had my fun at the coast, and figured I'd just lap for a while. It's rambling, but it's not really rambling. Some of my videos haven't been posted yet. I'm just sort of taking a break from that. I've been working pretty hard at that. It's going to take a long time to get the 4,000 hours, that's for sure. So, yeah, any help I can get, like, subscribe or, share it to somebody, they might find it interesting. I'm going to talk about heart health today. I have a background in engineering. That's maybe not like a medical doctor's background, but in some ways, I have my own advantages. They didn't get the education I got. I have my own particular sort of skills and ideas and stuff like that. So my particular skill is living with a heart condition. There aren't that many doctors that have my sort of life history and the things I did. A lot of it was, like climbing mountains and cycling a lot. There's a link between either of those activities, actually both of them, and atrial fibrillation. I think, in a way, I kind of, the runner's high, they call it. You get high, you're kind of, it's kind of like doing drugs in a way, and it's not really a good way to treat your heart and treat your body. So but I don't want to talk about my heart. I just want to talk about heart health in general, and I think it shouldn't take me too long. I'm just going to make it quick. I think, sorry about the wiper blade actually, it's kind of, but yeah, it's been really interesting for me. Like, I have had a tendency to drink too much in the past, and I didn't really like drinking until I was about 30 years old, and then I started drinking beer. That's when I started working on the computer all night long. I'd have a beer, work on the computer, and there's pluses to beer. Like they say, actually, beer drinkers have a higher than an average IQ. I guess it's good for your mind. There's lots of B vitamins. It relaxes you. But too much is kind of hard on your body chemistry gets adjusted, and so you end up being physically dependent on the alcohol. If you quit, you can run into problems. It depends on the situation. A lot of it is dehydration, which is something I kind of need right now. Like, it's funny. Like, my particular heart situation is I wanted to really improve my situation, and I've decided to stop. This period of my life, it's over, right? And I'm beginning a new life now. So I had to make changes, but I think I didn't do things in the right order. So I decided, well, I'm going to cut back on medication and cut back on booze. And what I found is I started having problems right away. And so I looked at blood pressure. If you're dealing with blood pressure problems, and that's where a lot of it comes from. That's the start of your heart problems, is the high blood pressure. The first thing on the list, exercise. Exercise is the most important thing. And you might say, hey Tim, wait a minute, didn't you just tell us all that exercise you got, climbing mountains and cycling, mountain biking, climbing these enormous mountains on a mountain bike. You wouldn't believe the stuff I've done. Isn't that kind of like exercise? But yeah, it's like too much exercise. So there's guy, he's got a YouTube channel, Dr. Eric Berg, and the more I watch this guy, the more I think he's pretty smart. He's got problems just like everyone. He's got his own addictions, caffeine, but he mentioned something about this variable heart rate test. And what they do is it's a kind of a marker. So they've discovered that this test is a really good predictor of mortality via heart disease. So they do a test, and they make they get you on a treadmill and so on, and they find that people who recover quickly, their heart rate goes back down to normal quickly, have a better outlook, and so they've got this. It's basically called interval training, and that's the way you should train your heart. You know, you should blast it real quick, and then let it recover. Sorry, this is moving on me. Let it recover. And another thing is, I studied cycling, and Lance Armstrong was a successful cyclist. Blood doping and stuff, there was some controversy, but whatever. I mean, the guy definitely was a physical specimen. His doctors, when they started training in February every year for the Tour de France, they put a heart rate monitor on him, and they would not let his heart exceed 137 beats per minute. And I think they talk about target heart rate for people. Well, whatever. I think. Sorry, this is so bumpy here. I think that's a really good number to stick to, because when you go above that number, apparently that's when the bad hormones are produced, like cortisol and stuff like that. It's like a stress hormone. Your body starts to react as though it's an emergency situation, and it does things that are like emergency situation only things, chemical things in your body. But that's just a survival situation. It's not a state your body can sustain, and it's probably not good for you. And a lot of the cyclists end up with problems. That's for sure. So yeah, that's in a nutshell. It's interval training for your heart. Keep it mild and moderate. You don't need to be a super aerobic person to be healthy. Just get that variable heart rate in. That's just a couple of ideas there quickly. And so that's my goal is to start with the exercise, and then I can adjust my medication for my heart and cut back on that, like this calcium channel blocker. If you have high blood calcium, you can get, I think what it does is it causes the heart rate to increase. So, and there's, exercise is another thing there. You go, to regulate your blood calcium, exercise. When I was exercising regularly, my blood pressure was 120/80, spot on, and I can achieve that again. I was high at the age of 30. I went to the doctor, and he was like, hey, and this was when I started drinking beer. My doctor said, hey, Tim, your blood pressure's a little high. I'm a young guy, and I've got high blood pressure, but it was chemically induced, drinking too much beer. And so he gave me the water pills. It's like they call them water pills. And that's not a fix. That doesn't fix anything. Doctors they don't do combined medicine like the newer doctors are learning that. It's called combined medicine, and that's the doctor you want. You don't want your typical GP, GMD, whatever. Those guys are like front end for a pharmacy. They don't, the education they get, the traditional education is no good. I don't know what they're doing nowadays. Hopefully they're learning. I could certainly help them out, in understanding it, because I live it, like I've been through a lot with my heart, and so I understand it. My knowledge isn't just theoretical, I have practical knowledge. So breathing helps, and there's lots of stuff to go over. But yeah, that's just a little bit of a beginner for you, and take care of yourself. Keep love in your heart. Yeah, the antiquated notion of that the spirit is in the heart. Well, quite frankly, it's true in a figurative sense. You can take things figuratively or literally or symbolically or whatever way you want to take it, but there's always truth there. And if you are upset, or if you're angry, if you're sad, if you're unhappy about love, if you're a young person and you're in love with young kids and stuff, you're starting it right away, right? And it damages your heart. It's not good for you. And a lot of people end up with serious mental illness, like and then they get into these diets, and they're trying to improve themselves. And I'm not talking about anyone in particular. I'm talking about, she's a girl I met in Hope, BC last year, and she has, I watched her, and she was crying a lot, and I said to her on Instagram, I said, you need to knock that down a bit. Don't she's hurting herself, and there's too much emotion, bad emotions, it's really hard on your heart too. You really should be happy. So there's a lot of things on the internet that can make us unhappy, I think, and I think that's why kids are having anxiety nowadays. They said that it's a fact that kids have higher levels of anxiety than they ever did historically. I don't know how they figured it out, but I trust that. It just makes complete sense to me, and so my goal in life is to I'm going to vlog about it. I'm going to be a video logger, and I think I've got a pretty good idea what I want to do. So I'm really looking forward to it. Like, this is going to be the first time in my life, when I feel like I've got a real good purpose. I'm feeling a little emotional about this, but it's tears of joy here. I'm excited. So hang in there, folks, and don't forget, I love you guys. Bye. So my camera said, try video stabilizing. So I clicked on it and it did nothing. So I don't know what the hell. So maybe it's stabilizing. So you can see that it's changed from the last section of the highway, and now I'm down here past Caramios. I just posted an image to my one of my Instagram channels. I think it's the one linked in my up there at the top of the page there on my YouTube channel. That's the one I'm looking out to for the time being. But I have to expand out on this, and so yeah, like one of my playlists will be about health, the heart. I think that's the most important thing in your body. Your mind and your heart kind of are like one thing. They're like a team. They work together. That and the nervous system, and all every decision you make about everything you eat, the way you feel, everything affects you. Ooh, 60 kilometers an hour, children. So I just saw a really cute girl at the gas station. I don't see very many women that appeal to me, like the celebrities on the internet. Like I see all these suggestions, these women trying to be sexy and stuff like that. It doesn't appeal to me, It doesn't, Yeah, usually the cute girls are for the cute guys, It's not written in stone, though. So yeah, the heart. You talked about the heart and how important it is. Yeah, like I had some problems there a couple of days ago. I was going too fast with modifying my lifestyle thing. Like your body gets used to a certain thing you're doing. Like if you're taking medications or if you're drinking a little beer. I've cut way back, but I can't just quit at this moment because cutting back on the meds and the beer, I think I already mentioned this, but that was on another blog. I don't know if I'm going to publish all my different movie scripts and stuff like that from this trip, just the ones that are important. I don't think people really are interested in just watching the road go by. They're interested in hearing about someone's life or something that might actually sort of click with them in their head, like they understand something and learn something from another human being. The best teachers are people, So, yeah, they come in all shapes and sizes and ages too. You can learn, there's a lyric from a song, and the children will lead with the youngest of the family will lead with authority. It's true. Or like Ender's Game. I kind kind of, I think I've suggested to somebody that there is like, I think of children as being kind of like perfect human beings, and they're moralistic. I mean, they're not corrupted. I think the adults, we try to protect children from adults, and there's a reason for that. Because as a society, as an adult society, we're not fit to have kids. So that's why the kids, like I was mentioning in the last section there, you know, they're getting anxiety. It's because of this world. We have it. We need to change. So that'll be one of the playlists. I'm going to talk about, you know, ethics and morality and the heart and love. You know, a word that maybe some people just, you know, they don't, I don't know, like they're ashamed, or maybe it's just embarrassing for them to talk about it or something. You know, like men are very stoic, right? You know, men are doers. They try to demonstrate, you know, and they protect their wife. You know, they don't want other guys messing around with their girl. It doesn't always work out for them nowadays, though. So, but yeah, like there was one section when I was on the way out, I was talking about the Jewish religion, and it's kind of like karma and dharma. Karma, you know, everybody wants good karma, but in the Indian philosophy, East Indian philosophy, dharma are your actions, your daily things that you do to bring good karma. So dharma brings karma, and the Jewish religion is the same. I've heard it many times. They come on the radio and they're asking people, you know, what's the Jewish religion about? And they'll always say, that's a good question. And they always have the same answer. It's about what you do. It isn't necessarily about your beliefs. It's what you do in your life. And so it's kind of like saying actions speak louder than words, right? So if you want to protect your heart, you know, act appropriately. You know, don't be trashy and just don't, you know, like, I mean, you can have your sexuality, but, you know, don't bring certain things into it. You know, you can sort of cross-circuit your mind and make maladaptive associations, like you're associating, like, say, for instance, violence with sex, and that's, you know, some people get off on that, I guess, right? So whatever turns your crank, I say, but just keep it away from my kids if I ever have them. That's all I can say. I don't want them growing up like that. Yeah, it's good to have an honest person in your life, say maybe a sister, you know, somebody who tells you, who's really honest with you, and, you know, or a brother. I didn't have any sisters. I wished I did. I think they kind of named me Timmy because I was the last boy, and they wanted, you know, they probably wanted a girl in the family. It would have probably been good if I had been a girl, you know, like, for the family. But I don't know, 4 boys, you know, we were a barrel of monkeys, that's for sure. It was a lot of fun. Until my dad passed away at the age of 10, and then all hell broke loose. Yeah, I just noticed all these people at the house. I woke up and I heard people talking, and I went on, and half of my families are like relatives, and my uncle, grandma's there. What the heck? And Craig walks by, looks at me, and just gives me this look, right? Keeps going. He was in his like white and blue striped, kind of like, it was like a really, really long t-shirt that goes down to the knees, and that was what we had for pajamas. I had the same thing, but in red stripes. And red and white stripes, horizontal stripes, about an inch high stripes, you know. Not wide stripes, like surfer t-shirt stripes, but anyways, yeah, so then, you know, my mom sits me down. Everybody's watching. And I'm, yeah. And she said, well, you know, your daddy had another heart attack or something like that. And I said, oh. Well, hopefully, I was kind of, I was really positive about it, and then she said, well, unfortunately, he didn't make it. And I freaked out. I tried to put my hands to my face. But my mom, she grabbed my hands, my arms, and we were struggling, because I was sitting right next to her. She's struggling into it. Yeah, it was kind of weird. And, yeah. So, since that day, this is the first time I've ever talked about it or said anything about it. It never really, I mean, I was upset. But I found other things to be upset about later in life, so I guess my dad, I just kind of forgot about him, But you never forget memories that are seared into your mind by emotion. I guess that's why I can remember so many details, stupid little things like what I was wearing and stuff like that, where everybody was sitting. Okay, I feel better now. Got that out of my system. Didn't want you to miss this cool section of highway here. It's kind of roly-poly. Look at those mountains and hills. This is a really gorgeous part of the country. It's very windy today, but that's why there's no snow. These are all vineyards here. So we're getting down to the Okanagan now. I'm on my way to Osoyoos, which is the warmest place in Canada, just about, except for Victoria, but Victoria is wet, rainier, than not as much sunshine. And it doesn't get as hot in the summertime. Not that that's a great thing. It is for me. I like heat. Some of it. I just park my van in trees or something. Or I just choose a location where the heat isn't too bad. I'll go high up in the mountains. Get a nice viewpoint on a hot summer day. That's really great. Not many people get $1 million viewpoint from Crown land, they have to pay $1 million. It's free for me. Bragging. Well, thanks for hanging in there. If you kept watching this, yeah. I guess my life, it didn't go the way a normal life would have gone. Maybe after that, I think I really did kind of miss, having a role model, a father, just, yeah, they called my dad the Great White Knight. His two other brothers, he came from a family of all boys too, and only three of them, my dad always took the higher ground, I guess, and so they called him the Great White Knight. Maybe that's me too. I don't know. I try to be, ethical, or think about, yeah, I think I am. I'm empathic. I care a lot. Maybe too much, I don't know. But, yeah, you got to take care of your heart, and don't sacrifice yourself. You have to make sacrifices for people you love. That's okay, Do it for your mom, your dad, your sister, your family. If they ask for help, help them. Don't just wait until they ask. If you know they're having troubles, volunteer to help them. Be a part of their life. I don't know many people that do. most of them live in the countryside. I just came from Caramios, and I was leaving the supermarket, and the woman there, she was like making sure everybody had sanitation masks and was washing their hands, and if they wanted a sanitized basket. And she said, "Hey, you guys have a good afternoon." And it was just me and some other guy I don't know who were leaving. And I looked over and I said, "Thanks." You know, that's just perfect. Like, that's an example of what they're like around here. The people, beautiful country makes beautiful people. They have a heart of gold. Oh, look at that. We're just, we're kind of winding south, so we're probably pretty much at the 49th parallel. I'll double check on my other phone here. I should be able to get the GPS signal here. And this is my $100 K20 daily driver phone. It's a little slow, but okay. So it says, what? No, we're not on the Silver Skagit Road. We're not in Hope anymore. Maybe I don't have location here down here. Yep, it's not. So it's got to get a whoops. We're across the line. We're trying to maybe I can just like navigate via the map. This dumb thing. Maybe if I just latest in the area. Yeah, it sure is like a crappy phone, that's for sure. When I was working with it quite a bit, it was getting, I did massage it quite a bit and make it work. I'm good with that kind of thing. Yeah, it still thinks I'm in Hope, and the GPS isn't doing anything. Maybe if I toggle the GPS, or a lot of the times these crappy phones, if they run out of memory, you know, like maybe I've got too much crap in here. Toggle GPS. I can just look at the damn map though, and the highway, the 3. Oops. See, there's nobody behind me. If the police were behind me, they'd be going north. I'm just steering with my knee, not N-E-E. It's N-K-N-E-E. Knee. There's a lot of similarities between Dutch and English. Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah, I mean, we gotta be. Oh, there we are. It's got me now. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, we're just. Yeah, this is about as close as the highway gets to the border. You know, why don't they make these maps so the road is not this like the contrast between the gray background and the white road? Oh yeah, we're already starting north again. So we just went through there. It's really close to the U.S. border. Yeah, this technology is not the best. I'm sorry, but those maps, Google, get your act together, right? I can't see the frickin' road. What use is your damn map to me, freaks? Yeah, I guess I should have overdrive on, eh? It's burning gas. Caramios has got good gas prices. The cute girl there. She said, yeah, those, the Canco card, I use my Canco card. I said, I haven't used it before. She said, you got a swipe. I said, yeah, I haven't used it before. Oh, it really adds up, she said. She must have been like, I don't know, 4'9" or something, really short girl, but she had like, she almost looked Swedish, you know. They've got that fairly kind of large sort of cranium with the blonde hair. I don't know. Cute girl, yeah. You can see some cattle down there or something. Can you see that? Grazing, the black thing? Maybe that's a horse. Here's some sagebrush going by. You pinch that stuff and you roll it in your fingers. It smells like Vicks Vapor Rub. All that blue stuff. I should go harvesting that stuff and cut it into bundles and bundle it and sell it, ship it off to Europe. If you know anybody in Europe who wants to sell sage, I'm your guy. Sage bundles, they're called a smudge. So what the natives do is they kind of wind it like a giant tie stick. The tie stick was a type of marijuana that was available, and it was like they take the top of the plant and they wind it around. You put a stick in there and then they wind this thread around it to hold it together. And God, but this stuff was strong. I don't recommend smoking it. I bought some like cannabis about a month ago. I haven't touched it. I should probably just take a break, take a vacation for a day or two, and just forget it. It's really good about. It's just kind of like it's not as drastic as electroshock therapy, but it doesn't. I don't feel uncomfortable if I just eat a little bit of it. Like I don't like smoking it anymore. It's too strong. I feel kind of when I smoke it, it's just nah. And if you're not somebody, if you're somebody, and you've never tried it before, I don't know. Like when I first tried any kind of cannabis, it was a black hash that I smoked, and I really liked it a lot. I thought, wow, this is really, really cool and all that. I think I was 14 years old or 15 years old. It's too young though. Kids shouldn't be doing that. Kids will do what kids will do. They grow up, and once they get their mind, they have a mind, and they start making decisions on their own, then what are you going to do, right? They just make their own decisions. So you can fight them as a parent, but really, you kind of just want to don't make it a big battle, I guess. You just kind of have to be rational. Give them some rational thought, and then maybe they'll, if they really, really love you, that was always the barrier for me. And I wouldn't do anything that would hurt my mom or my dad. I didn't want to hurt their feelings. But once Dad was gone, all hell broke loose in the household. And so my older brothers were fighting a lot, and it was pretty bad. So I found a book on astronomy, and I just started reading that, and I sort of went into my own world. So, but anyways, it's 11 minutes and 29 seconds. I think that's enough video for today. It'll be like a 20-minute long video. It'll be 3 pieces. It's glued together. And thanks for hanging in there with me. And subscribe, please, and like and share if you want. I won't have a successful channel unless somebody supports me. So I don't think I can see who subscribes. So if you subscribe, nobody's going to care. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's not, your name doesn't go on some subscriber list. It's not like being Patreon or something. If I can get to the point where I monetize and I get 4,000 people, then I'll create a Patreon account. Otherwise, it's not worth it. Okay, thanks for your time. Have a good day. Love you guys.